Now, the Nobel Prize-winning UN climate body, the IPCC, headed by India's own Dr. Pachauri, has now admitted that it did make a mistake. It had quoted another study saying that India's glaciers will disappear by 2035. The study that they quoted was wrong, and the glaciers, though they are melting very fast indeed, will not disappear so quickly. But while admitting the error, the IPCC has said that because of one error, don't condemn a 3,000-page report, because there's lots more meat in that report. Dr. Pachauri, it is quite a big error that that in 30 years or 20 years glaciers are going to go. You've admitted the error, but it seems to be part of a more concerted attack. It's almost like the Cold War days. There's the pro-environmentalists and the anti-environmentalists. And unfortunately, making a mistake like that hurts you. A, why did it happen? And B, how are you going to counter these people who are trying to say that everything is therefore wrong?
Well, the point is we are a body that functions very transparently. And we collect the best scientists from all over the world.
Right.
And at every stage of our process, we carry out expert reviews of the drafts that are written by the best scientists, as I mentioned. What has happened in this case is an error that has slipped through.
Right.
But may I also say we really don't place too much importance on this kind of date because really speaking, the IPCC doesn't predict anything. We only project scenarios of what would happen, trends, ranges, and so on.
Right.
I've given hundreds of talks in the last 2 years.
Right.
Never once have I said that the glaciers in the Himalayan range are going to vanish by 2035.
Right.
Now, what has happened is...
This is a research study by somebody else, and that was wrong.
Yes, but the source itself that we used made
wrong.
this error.
Right.
And really speaking, we should have, as our requirement says, the quality and validity of each source before incorporating results from the source into an IPCC report must be checked. We failed to do that.
Right.
But
now, I want to ask you, even the new, I've read much of these reports and I've heard you very often, and clearly, if the new scientist also quoted the same figure, they've also hadn't checked. And you quoted the new scientist. But yes, you should really have...
Well, we should have, because, our procedures carefully involve checking the sources that we use for our assessment. And there are literally tens of thousands of sources that we use, tens of thousands of publications that we review. This one error slipped through. But may I emphasize that we have also said very clearly in our synthesis report, which is the final document of the fourth assessment report, that over recent decades, widespread mass loss from glaciers and reductions in snow cover over recent decades are projected to accelerate throughout the 21st century, reducing water availability, hydropower potential, and changing seasonality of flows.
So you've talked about the trend. And let's just last 2 points. One is, forget the date. The fact that glaciers are melting is a trend that you want to emphasize.
That's beyond doubt, and I think that's going to cause serious problems as far as water availability is concerned in South Asia.
And whether they disappear or not by 2035 is not an important point. It is a crisis situation developing there.
It is. And
Number two, tell us a little bit about this global attack on environmentalists. It's like the old Reds under the bed. They're just finding any environmentalist and attacking his or her credibility.
Well, it's very curious that all these things have come together. Just before Copenhagen, we found out about the stolen emails from the University of East Anglia. What was purported to have been said by the scientists who carried out private exchange of emails never actually was done. All the sources that they said that they would exclude were actually reviewed in the IPCC fourth assessment report. Then, of course, they mounted personal attacks on me. Because if you can't attack the science, then attack the chairman of the IPCC, and they've used a whole lot of lies, like saying that I make money. There's not a single penny that I get from any of the advice that I provide to various organizations all over the world. That's my job as chairman of the IPCC. I've got to spread the message.
So where do those fees go?
That money goes to my institute, which is a not-for-profit, prestigious institute that I'm very proud of.
So it really is...
and now, of course, all this. So,
It's an attack, and you're going to fight back?
You bet. I mean, this is something that I'm certainly not going to let pass. We are proud of the legacy that I have inherited as chairman of the IPCC. Right. I'm proud of the process that we follow, and we are certainly going to stick to our path. Any error that we have made, like this one, will certainly not occur in the future. We're going to be extremely careful because the world expects a lot of us, and we have to live up to expectations.
Well, all of us in India have watched you and watched Terry for so many years, and as far as us, we are concerned, your credibility is impeccable. Let's hope you fight back and win and clear your name in this widespread attack from one side against you.
Thank you very much.